Then ham.
All right.
As much butter as you want.
We have a super fan. We have a band. Let's go.
And we have a drum kit.
Let's have a show.
Well, I heard you crying loud all the way across town. You've been searching for that someone and me out on the prowl. As you sit around feeling sorry for yourself. Well, don't be lonely now. Dry your whining eyes. Just roaming for the moment. Back like your subject. Looks like you've been thinking about ditching me. No time to search the world around, 'cause you know where I'll be found when I come around. When I come around. Well, I heard it all before. So don't knock down my door, 'cause I'm a loser, a drug user. I don't know, no accuser. Try and slag me down because I know what's right. So go do what you like. Until you do it wise. You may find out that your self-doubt means nothing was ever there. You can't go voicing something if it's just not right. No time to search the world around, 'cause you know where I'll be found when I come around. When I come around. When I come around. When I come around. TV, take us for a ride. No time to search the world around, 'cause you know where I'll be found when I come around. When I come around. When I come around. I think it's time for Peter now.
You know, every once in a while, I look back at what we've done here in the Dutch Hall. We've accomplished a great deal. I invite my friends in every Thursday, just have a good time. And think about how much I appreciate these friends coming down. And what I do for them once in a while is I give them something nice. This week is a nice drum set.
Thank you, Peter.
And look how much Michael enjoys it. It makes it all worthwhile. I'm like a proud papa. This is going to be a real fun show, people. But there's only one way to get it started. And you know what that is?
What is it, Pete?
Hey, you got it right. Super fan, you better cheer loud. We We are live from the Dutch Hall.
Hey.
The greatest podcast ever to come out of a pool shed in a guy's backyard, Pine Grove, Ontario. And I believe we are that way because we have the greatest band in podcast history, the Nocturnal Emissions. This week they are a power trio comprised of Steve the Reluctant German on lead guitar. The man that writes the music for the show, taking the place of Whiskey Wes Higgins, who's absent this week. The Rooster Dane Charters is on bass. Our new balls. I feel weird about it.
Little balls.
And on drums today, a man that just says, you know what? Throw me a new instrument, I'm going to rock it. And not only am I going to do that, I'm going to do it with vocals. I'm going to be like Phil Collins of the Nocturnal Emissions.
That's right.
Yes. It's Michael Bow, everyone.
Fucking nailed it.
Hey, guys. So much fun.
And you know what podcast will be complete without a bartender? And I got a great one. He's our a bus driver. He's also my brother, and he is our bouncer at times. Uh-oh. Here we go. Paul Van Dyke is here.
Hello.
And a new tradition here is a super fan per week. And this week is one of our greatest super fans of all time. She's the only one to ever win a super fan challenge. Laurie Ball is here.
Hey,
Laurie. Jill Dyke.
And I am the host of this show. I am the two-time President's Club Award winner.
2 fucking times.
My name is Pete Van Dyke.
2 times.
I like it.
Yes.
That's a real band. That is the fucking Tonight Show. You know, like eat your heart out. We are the Nocturnal Emissions. Like we were like kicking it.
we do what the fuck we want.
Yeah. I love this shit, man. We really turned it up a notch. The drum kit stand.
Yes.
This is great. The couch is right here beside. Like for those of you that don't know what it's like to be inside the Dutch Hall, you are like I need to only ask our super fan that's in here this week, Laurie Ball. Laurie, you listen every week, right?
I do.
But then when you're here, how would you compare the experience? Do you like it better listening at home, or do you like it better in the room?
Oh,
Have you? Because you've been to a number of shows.
yeah.
Are you disconnected?
Her headphones aren't working, or her microphone is off, I think.
What you talking about, Willis?
I like both experiences.
Hold on a second there. Let me pause. All right, I just want to say, like, we took a little pause from the show there because, you know, what happened was we worked together as a team. We recognized a weakness in our program that Laurie's mic was not good enough. And then Paul, we didn't just sleep there.
No.
Waiting to say something, waiting for Norpac to come up.
The beef people.
There you go, Paul.
Nice.
But Paul was on top of it, said, Laurie's mic doesn't sound like it's working right. Laurie, now you're back in business, right?
Now I'm back in business.
All right. So what you've been to many shows was my question.
Yep.
What is it better to be in the room or at home listening to the show?
I like it in the hall, but I can't get out here all the time. So I like both of. I like listening to it just to sort of keep up on things. So I it's the second best of both worlds, I guess.
No, but the question was,
which do I like better?
Yeah.
I like both of them because the other one's part of my routine.
Oh,
So even if I'm here, I still listen to it.
well, that's what Mike says too. Mike listens, and he's out of the people in the room. Charters, do you listen?
I listen to most of them, yeah.
He listens to the ones where he's not here.
You do listen to the ones that you're not here.
The ones I'm not
Yes.
here, yeah.
I do. The ones I'm not here.
You listen to the ones you're not here?
Never the ones I'm here.
Never?
Because you lived it once.
Never, yeah. I lived it done.
But Mike, you listen to most of them.
Yeah,
or all of
I
them.
would say I listen to like 98%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've missed
I
only a
listen
couple.
to all of them, even if I am here.
And it's a way different experience listening to it than it is to be in the room. And
Yes.
and I see it both ways. I have been in the room where it has been like where you is like torture.
Oh, yeah.
Where you think this is the most boring show we have ever put out. It just blows, you know. And then and then you listen back to it, and you're like, the pause didn't seem so long. You know, it just was a regular conversation, and it actually was kind of nice. But in the room, you're expected to be entertaining because you had the,
Right.
and it's just not.
There.
Sorry, Laurie.
Sorry. Yeah, it sounds
Hey,
like
right in
it's
the room.
rowdy and
Yeah.
yeah.
But it seems like it actually comes across better sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it covers up some bombs.
I miss
sometimes.
some jokes sometimes in the room, you know, and then I listen back and I'm like, oh, that's so funny. I missed that.
Yeah, that's true too.
And I think like what Laurie said, I know for me at least too, is like I enjoy listening in like your spot, like mine's in my tractor or my truck, like when I'm driving on my own. Like it's cool because you pick up on your little thing because you're focused on like just what we're all saying. Like sometimes in the show, something's going on in the background, or you know, you can see something else happening. So yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah, especially what they don't pick up on, and then you miss, like that distracts everyone in the room, but then people at home don't hear
Don't
it or
see
whatever.
it. Yeah, like somebody's puking in the corner. They
Yeah.
have no idea. Unless we say.
Yeah.
So like we, like I always find that's cool because I had people this weekend. Like we have to say, like we had our Dutch Hall comedy tour.
Yeah, we did.
Sure did.
Yeah, and Swazi's is really who gets it.
Yeah.
Swazi gets what we're trying to do
Sure
and
does.
lets us do it, right? And I didn't play Eduardo. We didn't play Eduardo this time at Swazi's. And I have to apologize to people at Swazi. I have to make it right. We bombed. First time we ever went out and we played Eduardo. And it's kind of the signature thing that we do, right? It's kind of the signature thing that we do. If we don't do Eduardo, we've kind of not done our thing. If we didn't put our stamp on our show, which is, you know, we play Eduardo. I feel bad.
I was disappointed.
A live program that involves,
Sorry, Laurie.
and we had a number of people. Sarah Wallace as well. Was very disappointed that we did not play Eduardo. She many times coaxed us to. I tell you, the shock and horror of the bomb we had the first time when it was so bad.
I
And
like how he keeps saying we.
Yeah.
It was mostly you.
Yeah, it was mostly me. I was the one that had to come up with remember the words, but you guys were there every time with me.
Oh, we ate shit as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
None of you guys pay attention enough to listen.
We couldn't give you the first line of the next verse to save our lives.
The words again.
I haven't listened to the song once. Yeah.
We're just like, you know it.
I just
Yeah.
play the guitar.
So we were all no help. As I said, I went to the well. You guys were like looking at me like, "You're on your own, buddy."
Deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
I just play the castanets.
Yeah, exactly. I play the side of a guitar.
So that's why I love. We should have done it, eh? With the whole thing, it's a great bet. I love it doing it. And
Next
so,
time.
anyways, my promise is, this is what happened. Swazi's was a great success by all accounts. Clifford Myers was a big hit. He killed that night.
Sure did.
And we really are welcome back. Swazi was really happy to have us back. So I'm hoping maybe February we can be back at Swazi's.
Great. Awesome.
And then we'll have another great show for you. And I promise to play Eduardo. I promise.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Or
Or what?
is there like a punishment if you don't?
No, I'm a
yeah,
guy.
I
that-
like this.
Well, I'll tell you, Laurie. I see where you're going. I like it. I like where your brain is. I like that. So I'll humor you, but I'll tell you something. When you're talking with Pete Van Dyke right here, you don't need to play a game like this because I'm true to my word. I'm 100%.
I heard that you were going to do it this past time at Swazi's. You said it. You
When did
that
I
you were
say?
going to- you said you were going to do Eduardo. You were going to redeem yourself.
If I said that, then I'm a man of not my word. Is that what I said? But this
Sounds
time,
like she's a super fan.
yeah. Did I really say it on the air too?
I think you did say it on
Oh
the air.
man, I say a lot of things. Man, I said Mike did a whole bunch of things. I didn't even know he'd forgive me.
Yeah, you really say a lot of false things.
Hey, you know what,
of
Mike?
false things.
You know what about that one episode? I'm not going to even say it out loud what I said about you because I don't want to reinforce the thing again,
Great.
right?
Good call.
That would be nice.
But I believe because there was one piece of feedback that we got from the cheese lady, and she said this was the year, and I didn't read it on air because she was angry about your behavior,
Okay.
and she said no Gouda for you.
Oh.
And then did you notice when the tray came last
No
week?
Gouda.
No Gouda.
She was angry.
Wow.
So she may still harbor the belief.
And see, this is why you can't
That's
say
why you
things
can't
like
say
this.
things. That's why I can't. No, that's what I mean. Lesson
Now I'm
learned.
deprived of Gouda because of you, you
Because of-
motherfucker.
Mother.
I love Gouda.
This is what I'm trying. I'm trying to grow as a person, Michael. I'm trying to learn from those experiences.
And that's why Laura's saying you need a punishment if you don't follow through
Well, okay.
with what you're saying.
Laurie has proven me to be a person not of my word, and I can't argue with it. So I need a punishment. So if I do not sing Eduardo, if we do not play Eduardo
Listeners,
at the what does this include the show I'm headlining at the New Limburg in January?
It's definitely Swazies. I would say the next Swazies for sure.
Okay,
You should, but I would use the New Limburg as a practice.
if I can get enough people from Nocturnal Emissions to come with me
Yeah.
to that gig,
Why not practice it in?
why not in New Limburg? And I love that place.
Oh, it's a great
Sure.
menu.
Why not?
well, the beer's delicious.
And okay, if the punishment would be
I got one.
what is it?
You have to watch the Eduardo footage from our bomb, and we get to watch you watch it.
On air?
On air.
On air?
We get to watch your face.
Well, that's almost good enough to do anyway. Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I think we should do that anyways. I really do. Steve, now you brought it up.
It's really eating them inside.
Yeah, it's going to be horrible for me, but I think it's good for the audience that we do that. So I'm just going to say to the audience, we'll do that.
Wow.
That should maybe be his punishment for
That's my punishment for missing
not
it.
doing it
Yeah,
this time.
I agree, Laurie. That's perfect.
Ouch.
And you should do it before the February one so that you actually make sure that you actually do Eduardo. at
And
the
you should
next.
do it in that shirt, too.
What shirt?
The shirt from Orangeville that you really rocked it in. That's
Oh.
when you killed Eduardo.
What shirt was I wearing there?
Your mono shirt, your cowboy shirt.
No, I wore that in Leamington.
Oh, you bought it. And
I
Or
think
an
you wore it.
orange,
I think you wore it for like 3 weeks straight.
That's when we went on a world tour, right?
Yeah, so we went on
That's
a
right.
tour with a tour bus, and it was fucking cool. And we did that we did that because it was awesome, and that's the only reason we did it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing.
And then even Swazies, that night at Swazies. Come on, how did you not have a good time?
It's a great time.
Like who didn't have a good time that night?
This
No, it was all
time?
good.
Yeah, this time at Swazies.
Oh, it was great.
If you came out now, I gotta tell you, I put the Dutch Hall comedy moniker on the Little Belgian show in Delhi. And I gotta tell you, I don't know what I gotta do with those Delhi people. They were like animals.
I'll tell you right now, I am from Delhi, born and raised. I went to school there. I played hockey there. I'm very proud to say I'm from there. Yeah, Steve, and that's what I felt. I felt ashamed to be from my town. Ashamed.
We couldn't corral them.
Oh, it was fucking embarrassing. They're assholes.
And then you go to
I'm serious. They were.
Yeah, and you go to Swazies. Now they were not, and even the comics mentioned they were a lively crowd. They were not a sit on your hands kind of crowd. They were
involved.
like the one girl. I think she's part of our feedback segment. But at one point in time, this is unprecedented in my stand-up history, which is limited. She stopped me in the middle of a joke to see if I could order her a drink.
Oh yeah, I remember,
remember that?
Yeah, you took a pause.
Yeah, I never in my life had had that happen to me
Yeah.
before. But I'm the host of the show. I think there may be that it's a common misunderstanding that the host would get you a drink.
You helped her out.
I listen to this guy every week.
It was funny, man. It was really, but I thought it was just terrific because we saw some people that were there at the last Swazi show, and that came back. So that means we did a pretty good job the first time.
Right.
And then we had some new people there that say they'll be back. So
It was
then,
a packed house too. It was more people than the first time for sure.
yeah.
Like standing room only. It was really a good crowd.
Yeah.
Lively is a good description.
Like, yeah, fun, like into it. They
Yeah.
were engaged more than that. Like that's what I
They
came
were
to the Delhi gig, and they weren't engaged. Like they were just talking amongst themselves rather than be engaged with the comics, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's
I think if we were all in it together, I don't mind a room that's a little chatty or even like sometimes they give you a little bit too much information. I remember when I did Open for Jake the Snake, there was one crazy woman in the front row, and every joke I tried to tell, she thought I was just talking to her personally, and then she'd like to add her story about like whatever tragic fucking shit happened to her, right? To it.
Yay!
While I'm in the middle of my joke, but you could just but I still appreciated it because it was coming from a nice place, like she wasn't trying to shit on you. We're in Delhi. There was a table of people right beside our microphone who just told us we sucked. And like every 2 words you'd say, they would just tell you.
Just
suck.
trying to run you off the rails.
Oh, it was brutal, man.
You were interrupting their drinking.
Yeah. So I don't know. That
Yeah.
one, I don't know if I could put the Dutch Hall comedy stamp of approval. That's not the type of show we generally run. But Swazi's, I would say that is more typical of what you would get from us
Oh,
if
it
you
was
want
primo.
to book us.
People were there to have a good time. All around. Listen to some tunes, have a laugh. It was great.
Yeah, and it was interactive all the way through. The comics were very interactive with the crowd, and then the band ended up being very, very interactive with the crowd at night as well.
Right. Yeah, it was great. We were lucky enough we got Swaz up there to sing a tune.
Yeah, the bar owner was up there singing a song with you guys. Then another
a new fan, I would say.
I would have to call her a new fan.
Yeah. She nailed it too.
Yeah, Haley,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Haley.
She nailed a Johnny Cash song. I even sang a song, and who else? There was one more person, wasn't there?
Everybody.
Yeah, it seemed like it was.
That was really good. The crowd was into it.
And Sarah Bruning from Huck Gin. She was a former guest on the show.
Yeah.
And they know how to play music. They're a good band.
Oh, a great band.
Awesome.
Yeah. She plays that cajon thing,
Yep.
right? Really well.
Yeah.
And she's sitting there, and she said to me sincerely, because it was behind. She had no reason to lie to me. She says that band was really tight tonight. And I heard a lot of people said it. The band was really good tonight. And
Really?
I don't know what it was. You were hitting on all cylinders, and it sounded good too. You
Yeah.
must have
That's
just
just
nailed-
shit luck. Like
like that
was good.
with what we put together. Like, how the hell did we hit it? It sounded good.
Yeah.
It was super fun.
It was the practice at Shenanigans.
For
before
sure
that.
it was.
Thank you very
It
much,
must have
Laura. I
been.
think
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah,
The screws were tightened there.
and that's a thing. That's the thing.
Thanks, Ballsy.
I think that this has to be explored too. The Dutch Hall comedy thing. When we come to your town, like when we came to Waterford,
Right.
okay, it wasn't just we had the gig, but it was a whole thing. It was the Dutch Hall came to town. The Nocturnal Emissions.
It was a big deal.
Yeah, they were at one of
it's
the
an
local
event.
watering holes, one of the local backyard spots to practice. A bit of a buzz stirred into town. Then we go play the gig. Then afterwards, people are so excited. After party, I didn't even know about it. Charters, you're all over it.
Oh, yeah.
All over it,
Couldn't
right?
wait. It was so good.
Leader.
When you hire the Nocturnal Emissions for a gig, expect some or all of the Nocturnal Emissions to stick around until the sun comes up at some part of your town. This is what you want. Why you want to hire us at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, because you're going to have a great time. To let us come to your town. We'd love to come. I don't even give a shit where you are. Tell us where you are, and we'll entertain the idea of coming to your town. I guarantee we'll bring on a
Absolutely.
good show.
Yeah.
And Charters is the one lock
Late night.
to be there late night. That is the lock. You do not have the chip in you to
Shut
give
it.
sleep any value.
No.
Sleep has zero value to you,
No.
right? Yeah.
Last one standing.
Because there was, Mike told me he saw some footage of that evening. Is that true, Mike?
That is accurate.
And you said that Charter's face. Describe it, because I think that,
Like one of the biggest grins. Dave's riding a high of the night. We just had one of the most interactive, most fun. We said it before tonight. Like probably the most fun gig we have ever done.
I think so.
Nocturnal
Nocturnal
Emissions.
Emissions, yeah.
Just crowd interaction. Everybody's great. Dave goes back to Shenanigans, leading the band, late night band. He's got a drum. He's got another guy playing guitar. Girl, I couldn't really tell in the video, but Dave is leading and smiling like ear to ear, having the time of his life, and I was so happy for you.
What time of day was that, Michael?
Well, it was on my phone. I would say it was a rough 3:30. That was a.m.
Yeah.
the next day. Now, you told me that the reason we played When I Come Around is you came around 3,
Yeah.
what?
I came around
Tuesday
about
morning.
Wednesday, actually.
Wednesday.
That's when I came around after that late night.
it takes a bit to recover, but it's still worth doing, right?
Oh, yeah, it was worth it.
It was just
Great
cool,
time.
like that to see, like you, like I enjoyed it so much. I was driving that night, but I enjoyed every minute. It was so.
Yeah, it was great
Great.
playing with you guys. You know what my favorite part of the night was? We played that last song, Michael, where you sang that Nirvana song. It's like the end
Nailed
of the
it.
set.
Oh, yeah.
Like, thank you, we're the Nocturnal Emissions, good night. And immediately the whole bar erupts in cheers of encore. I don't think I've ever heard that.
Ever.
Crazy.
Not like that.
Thank you, Waterford.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was
We're looking at
weird.
each other like we got nothing left on the paper.
What the
fellas.
fuck? We've never had a what
like-
encore.
Nobody
we were
wanted more. They were
expecting
just pretty happy for us to leave.
Yeah.
Before this, it was kind of a.
The last time they just want to get us out of there.
Yeah. It was a nice surprise.
It was awesome.
Thank you, Waterford.
Yeah, thanks, Swaz.
Yeah, that was a great time, and I think that is the example of what I think we can do. Is what we did there. We a couple little tweaks on it to make it better.
But the bar is set.
Yeah, but I think we know what we're doing now. So
Hell
if you
yeah.
want to book a live from the Dutch Hall comedy tour to come to your town or your bar or whatever that, you can reach out to us at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com and we will see if we can set it up because we'd love to come out and do something. We're looking for things in the winter to do.
Yes.
And as I said, we do have a couple gigs coming up at New Limburg. I will be headlining a show there. And if we get more people to come out, it turns out I get paid more.
New Limburg,
Oh,
that's in a
excellent.
nice little town of Nixon.
Nixon.
Right.
Oh, yes, Nixon. Between Delhi and Simcoe.
Yes, when you know you've been asked to headline Nixon,
Yeah.
you've made the big
You've
time,
really
Big time.
the tip top. I
The
am.
old school.
I'm
Old
rocking
school,
Nixon. Yeah,
yeah.
so the old school Nixon.
Well, you can fly into Nixon. That's what makes it cool.
Yep.
Yes,
yeah.
I could.
Accurate.
I could actually. I could also ride my bicycle to Nixon.
That's right.
Both of those things I could.
Many
technically
modes
do.
of transportation.
While you're flying in, spread some fertilizer on my fields while you're at it.
Yeah. Anyways, we should get to a segment we call feedback. We got feedback.
We got
Feedback.
It's feedback!
Motherfucking feedback.
Motherfucking feedback. I thought you were going to count us in there, Michael.
I'm on the drums and I don't know how to start that song. I'm like, come on,
1,
guitar.
2, 3, 4. Yes.
All right, next time.
Welcome to Feedback. We got feedback. This week, it is brought to you, as always, by our friends from Amazon. If you'd like to go to a Live from Dutch Hall's web page and do something to get rid of the ad blocker so you can see the Amazon links there, click them, do your shopping, get Christmas presents for your family and all that stuff, and then we get money, and then we can put that money towards gear and etc. and make the
win-win.
show better.
Yeah,
And
it comes right to your door.
yeah, Amazon's great. You know, Walmart is talking about they're getting ready to go and close a lot of their stores because they want to go into the online world because they figure they're losing. So they're going to all of a sudden change gears.
Too little, too late. Walmart.
Yeah, you're behind.
Behind, yeah.
Fuck you.
Anyways, sidetracked. But
Sidetrack.
you could also go to. I also want to. We have a new sponsor this week.
Oh, what?
Yeah. If you're you ever grow ginseng? Anyone?
I've worked in ginseng.
I'm working on growing ginseng.
Yeah. You need some shade? Go to Oakland Shading in Vanessa.
Oh,
Man.
Yeah. Go to Oakland Shading in Vanessa. I'll tell you. Look at you some shade. What do you want? You on your deck, Steve? You got a sunburn?
Yeah, that's right.
Go to Oakland Shading, Vanessa.
Sounds good,
More
man.
layers.
Put a shade on that
More
deck,
layers.
and you have no sunburn. You have a shade.
That's right.
Yeah.
Would they make me a portable shade? I could just like a wearable shade. That'd be awesome.
That's Oakland Shading. They
Oakland
have more layers.
They'll probably give you a portable shade. Yeah.
Yes.
I bet you if you talk to the guy and you say like, "Listen, I need a portable shade." So I operate. My skin's gonna bubble. I'm some sort of a weird German
I'm
hybrid.
some white German.
What are you, Irish German?
Yes.
Ooh, that's,
Oh.
that's extremely white.
You are white.
It's true.
There is nothing not white
Is that
about
the
you.
most white?
Can you dance?
Maybe.
Is that the most? You could mix. No, the only.
Albino has to be the most.
No, like Scandinavian.
Oh, that old chestnut.
Scandinavian is the whitest.
Super white.
German is white. And what's the other one? Irish.
Irish, that's a nice white.
Irish is as white as they
Ginger
come.
white.
Irish is like translucent. You can see right through them. Yeah. Anyway, that's really white.
It's all the potatoes.
It sure is.
We have a hint of
Zwarte.
Zwarta.
Oh, yes, a little bit of Zwarte in the family.
We have a hint of Zwarta
What the-
in the woodpile.
I also like chocolate.
Zwarte feet come in
You got a little dust on his face from his chimney.
Anyways, what are we doing? Oh, that's a new sponsor.
New sponsor.
And guess what? Guess that this is the greatest part about this show. I don't get paid. Okay, we do this every week. We don't get paid. No, there's no benefits that come of it. But I can just have a sponsor come up and say, just mention my my company, and you can park my boat in your.
Oh, is that it?
Bingo.
It's a bargain.
And that's it. So that's like getting paid, right? So that's the same thing. It's like you don't get anything, but then like when you go to do Swazi's, and maybe Swazi says you don't have to pay for those 3 beers or whatever, you know, like it's little things like that
Sure is.
that make life worth living, you know. It's like those are the little things that as a Dutchman, I look at it and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about getting paid, but if I get something for free, it's fucking like gold, man. Like I don't even care, but I don't want to put a dollar value to it. I just want the free shit. It's like that's why if you go to like if I go to sometimes in comedy, you have to go to weed rooms just to get mic time, right? So you can practice. But sometimes they pay you in weed, so then they just smoke weed. You know what I mean?
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, like I like if that's how I'm getting paid is I have to smoke this thing. I'm like, okay, that's my pay, I guess. I got to take it.
Green is green.
Better than nothing.
It's better than nothing, right? Like, that's exactly it. It's like, at least you got something out of this deal. But it's like, otherwise, I wouldn't have done that, is my point. I chose it. It's like it's a weird way to get paid, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you trade in, not money, but what do you say?
Yeah.
Like
Goods.
Goods, yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's like if
Trading
he all of a
goods.
sudden said, hey, Mike, you want to come over and you can chop this cord of wood for me? And I'll, at the end of it, I'll give you like this bucket of Vegemite that I made. I made a bucket of Vegemite,
A beaver skin.
a beaver skin. And you're like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I guess I'm eating Vegemite sandwiches for the next month.
Sounds great.
Nah.
Random.
That's what the kids like, eh? That's for the 20-year-old listeners out there.
Go.
This is there's a listener theme running through this whole show, and you know what it is? It's there's no they're all over the place to this. Anyways, we got to go to Van Dyke Party Services.
Hey.
Van Dyke Party Services. We're coming up to Christmas time,
Sure.
and part of Christmas time is that you have to go to work Christmas parties.
Ugh.
Going to one tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, not for me, obviously.
Yeah. Do you have a work Christmas party with just you and
Kelly.
you?
Yeah, me and Kelly.
And
And,
he's
now
like-
I have to go to hers.
But we have if you have a work Christmas party, you work with these people all day. You don't choose those people that are in the cubicle next to you, the office next to you, the workstation next to you. These goddamn people just got put there by somebody else. They happen to apply by happenstance.
By circumcision.
Yeah, or that too. That to be next to you, and you spend 8 hours, sometimes 10 a day next to these fucking people. You can't wait to get away from them. And now, one day a year, you get to wear different clothes and see them in a different setting,
Let loose.
and have to sit by these same people that you try so hard to get away from. And you're spending your own fucking now free time to spend time with these people who you don't want to be with.
Yeah, and you know what's the worst is when you go to one of those parties and then all they do is talk about work.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey.
no, let's talk about something else.
And guess what? If you're the spouse who has nothing to do with their work and you got to listen to all this shop talk when you don't give a fuck about their shop, you're going to really hate it. But you know what's going to make it better?
What?
Between 5 and 29 Van Dyke First Cousins and Bright Yellow Jackets.
Hey.
We'll send them to you. Van Dyke Party Services. Just contact us at livefromdutchhall@gmail.com, and we will send you between 5 and 29 Van Dyke First Cousins, and you will have the time of your life. And all it's going to cost you is $100 of cold hard cash, plus all of our expenses, which will be dear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness, they'll be dear.
Especially at this time of the year.
You have no
Oh.
idea.
We are eggnogging it up. I like to have 3 candy canes in my eggnog. I don't mind telling you. We're going to have a fucking great time. Let's dance around the mistletoe. I'm kissing your boobs. We're having a great time. But if you're not 100% satisfied, we will return that $100, but those expenses will run through our body and potentially yours. Van Dyke Party Services.
Don't live your life in regret.
Brought to you by Clean Flow. And I have to tell you, Clean Flow sent us a card.
What?
Oh.
Amazing.
A Clean Flow card
Whoa.
in the
It's
mail.
even got a drip of oil.
Yes, and I'm not going to tell you what was in the card, but it was money.
Woo!
Anyways, the
Best
card
kind of gift.
Tell you.
That's the best gift.
the card says this. Hey, Pete, good luck with the next chapter of Live from the Dutch Hall, which is supposed to be video. Yes. Old Petey boy is stuck on the video problems because I am what they call in the olden days, I don't know what you can say nowadays,
In the old country.
but in the olden days, I was what was referred to as a retard. But I don't know what you'd refer to me in the today's day, but in those days.
It'd be long-winded.
Yeah. Anyways, it says, good luck with the next chapter of Live from the Dutch Hall. Thanks for the laughs and the exposure. Love from, and it doesn't say love from, it just says Mr. Clean Flow. P.S. Charters is my bitch now.
Oh.
And,
Man.
Charters, you know, we have to talk about Clean Flow because of what you did. Did you ever have any repercussions for what, like, you the next week after you said what you said in the Clean Flow ad, you didn't show up, right? And I think the week after that, you don't even know if you showed up. You took like 2 weeks off. It was a hiatus.
Yeah, I was gone for a bit.
Yeah. Which was rightfully so, right? You did wrong, right? Because you know what the problem is with Clean Flow? They're a real goddamn sponsor, Dave. They're not like something we make up like Van Dyke Party Services, which is not made up, by the way. We will fucking do it, and we did it once.
Goddamn right.
Yeah. And but
We'll
like
do it again.
this is a real sponsor that gives us stuff. Like they give us money. Like even Amazon can go fuck themselves tomorrow. Like I could give a shit if Amazon told me they didn't want to sponsor. Like but Clean Flow's a big deal. And we give you the script. You look at the script live on air. You represent Clean Flow, Dave. You represent Clean Flow. You read horrible things about the Native Americans.
I
you
feel
just
like
do. You just do it without any conscience, knowing that you represent Clean Flow's interests.
I really thought that's like, you know, I was supposed to do that. I feel like I was tricked into it. Like I was duped, punked. Like I got punked.
Well,
Still bothers me on the inside.
On the inside.
Well, Dave, I want to tell you this is your challenge for Clean Flow as your penance. You need to find one way to use a Clean Flow product every week. And I need you to report back to me and tell us and the listeners at home and Mr. Clean Flow himself who has requested this. That you figure out a good way to use these products and you tell them how you did it. And if you do something stupid with it, then you have to tell us what you did that was stupid too. Because if you make a mistake, this is a scientific thing. All right, Dave?
All right.
You try your Clean Flow product out however you want to. You want to put some honey goo?
One per week.
Honey goo.
Right on. Yeah. Put it wherever you want, Dave. Lubricate whatever you want with honey goo.
All right.
Anyways. One more sponsor, Yarmy Electric.
Oh, yes.
You know what? You might notice in the forest out there that there's some guy in an orange jacket that's out there trying to chase deer out and so that his buddies can shoot it. You know?
And he's probably smoking about 3 or 4 packs of cigarettes.
Yeah, that's what he's doing because this is his glory time. This is his time where he gets away from it all, you know? And guess what? All of a sudden you smell something burning in your kitchen. Oh, it's been your light's been dimming for a while, and now it seems to be smoldering. I don't know. I'm going to call Derek. No! Shut up. He's hunting.
It's hunting week.
Leave him alone. The man has things to worry about that isn't your bullshit. Your Army Electric, if we don't get it right the first time, we'll get it right the second time. And if we don't get it right the second time,
You can go fuck yourself.
Norpac,
Beef people.
Paul, Now let's.
Awesome.
Paul's the best. And you know what, Paul? Because you're on I wish we could get to Paul before we get to feedback. What do you? Should we get to Paul? Because we missed Paul in the opening.
We did.
Yeah.
We should get to Paul. This is the longest feedback ever. No, let's. Well, it's a teaser. We'll go to the end. First, we got to get through this feedback. We have one lady. She's been since she's been turned on to our program. She has been all over feedback each and every week. So much so that she became listener of the week, and so much so that she became a super fan. And then she became a super fan that was invited to be to be a guest at Live from the Dutch Hall. And she was in here again. She's a cheese lady.
Sure is.
And you know what? She's such a good fan of the show that we actually wrote her a theme song.
Does anyone remember it?
Hey, cheese lady, it's your time, lady, and we love you, lady. Hey, we love you, lady. This is your time.
That's not all we practice at all.
That works though.
Totally different. Totally different.
Not even cool.
We should have
Yeah,
wrote
I think
it
the
down.
first one was
Was
called
good.
Checking Up with the Cheese Lady. Checking Up with the Cheese Lady.
Yeah, that was totally different.
Yeah. Anyway,
We should have wrote it down.
anyways, no, Teresa from the Second Mouse in Delhi was our guest last week, and she brought us a delicious cheese tray that was very
did.
generous and delicious. And she wrote, "The secret Live from the Dutch Hall Society was all that it was cracked up to be in a bag of chips."
Oh.
Yeah, and you know what?
A bag of chips makes it good.
Ella Jones, she caught wind of our episode last week, and she said, "Dutch Hall superfan, question mark,
Oh,
Whoa.
controversy.
challenge accepted.
Bingo.
If this is your address," and she posted my address, which was actually correct. I have no problems. I know,
And creepy.
you know where to find me. Yeah, it is. But it is a little bit. If this is your address, a Christmas present will be dropped off in the next couple of weeks.
Whoa.
Oh, Ella.
I like where Ella's head is at. Give us free shit. Become our favorite listener. The challenge is thrown out to all you people listening right now. Now, if you've taken the free ride, you're sitting there each and every week getting pleasure out of our toiling efforts, where we have to sit here and drink, smoke, and do things
Play
and
music.
play music and laugh
Man.
for your fucking enjoyment. We suffer through this. Least you can do is send us some free shit.
Christmas presents.
Christmas presents like
I
Ella
brought in the
Jones.
rum chata.
You know what I'm saying?
One time we got underpants.
I didn't.
Mine was a string.
And I'll tell you, when you give us free stuff, you become a very important person to the show. Just ask Sarah Wallace. She's brought us pepperettes on 2 occasions.
2 times.
And you think we don't remember both of those 2 times as putting her deep into our hearts of how we feel about her as a listener of this program?
Oh, yeah.
Free stuff she gave us. Do you remember Jen Husko? She gave us a bottle of Jack Daniels. Hadn't even cracked. It was like so heavy she couldn't even barely fit it through the door. Right? These are things that endear you to us when you give us like that sort of stuff. Laurie Ball brought us a rum chowder. Manny Fajo, first time he ever came in as a super fan, brought us a
Brought in a
chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
On our fasting episode.
Poor
It's
Dave.
poor timing. But we've had a number of great exchanges with super fans over the years, and we want to make it a weekly thing.
Yeah.
And that's why we invited Laurie Ball in this week, because we wanted to make it a weekly thing. And Ella was the catalyst for making it making a challenge out of it. And I think that we've reached out to a few fans already. But if you're out there listening and you want to come in and be a super fan in the super fan seat at the Live from the Dutch Hall taping, just give us an email at Live from the Dutch Hall, or message me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever you got there, and we'll see if we can get you in for an episode. But we do want to fill that seat every week. So I think that's great. And I think we got the next few weeks kind of like started to be lined up.
Yeah.
But we want Laurie in first because remember you were the super fan. You beat Manny in that.
Champion.
The
Killed
champion.
it.
It wasn't even close, eh?
No.
Who do you think would be the hardest challenge for you out of super fans that are out there? Because you're gonna go someone old school, someone that knows it from the beginning, right? You'd be like the
Willie
Haitian
Van
Dwarf.
Dyke?
Willie Van Dyke.
Willie Van Dyke.
Well, even Willie, I think, didn't start listening till a year in. Or
Really? I thought he listened from the very beginning.
I don't know, man. I thought Mom listened at the beginning, and then I think maybe Pop went back. I think, but at the beginning, I don't think he was listening because he was working and stuff like that. But he got into it later. But he did get feedback this week too. Willie did. I don't want to forget that. He said the Shoeshine Boys episode. He said that Char's mic was a little loud in the last song.
Holy fuck.
That was the nicest way I could say. That's the nicest way I could say what he said. I cleaned it up. I cleaned it up a bit.
Thanks, Willie.
Yeah. He just wanted to know that you maybe thought you'd benefit from listening to it a few times and just like he wonders what you are hearing. No, just no. But we did also do that gig in at Swazi's, as I said, and we actually got feedback from the gig. Brittany Campbell, who works at Swazi's, I believe, she says, "Cheers to another great night. Always a good time. Thanks for coming out." Haley Turnell, who is one of the girls that came up on stage and sang a song with the Nocturnal Emissions, said, "Great time. Thanks for letting me join in on the cash."
You're welcome.
And Julie Van Houten, who's been at both the Swazi shows, said, "Such a great show as always." And remember Rehan, who was on the show?
Yeah.
She gave us a little message saying, "You guys are so cool."
Awesome.
True story.
It is. But you know, out of all those, I'm going to say, Ella, you really set yourself up for Listener of the Week. You set yourself up, but you promise us the gift. And a promise is just one thing. But the gift has to arrive in order to get the Listener of the Week. Otherwise, we're just rewarding you for, like, just pissing in the wind, you know?
Small talk.
Yeah, we want to see results. But otherwise, you're a shoe-in for it. This week, no Listener of the Week.
Oh.
Just no one.
No, I'm gonna go. No,
Fuck everybody.
Nobody earned it.
Nobody earned it.
Fuck all y'all.
What do you think? We just give it out willy-nilly?
Yeah, that's how it goes. But there is one listener who's been with us since the very beginning, and that's our good buddy, the Haitian Dwarf.
1, 2, 3, 4, hi-ho, it's off to bed we go.
I'll come around your pussy mouth.
Hi-ho, hi-ho.
The Haitian Dwarf has been with us since the very beginning, and he gives us feedback on iTunes. And this week he gave us 5 stars on iTunes. And he entitles it The Shoeshine Boys. He says, "I think Paul might be on to something." And I don't know what that means. I got to be completely honest with you. I don't
That's
know.
it?
No, that's the first part.
Oh.
And he goes, "And for the record, the correct term for two dudes who both have experienced carnal knowledge," which in this case means that they both had intercourse with the same woman.
Oh,
Right.
I remember talking about that.
Remember we talked about that? Because those two guys in the band had banged
That's
the
right.
same girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's called something. It's like a connection of some sort. I couldn't think what it was called. According to the Haitian Dwarf, he says it's called Eskimo Brothers.
Yes.
Oh.
I had that reiterated to me on a text through a listener as well.
Eskimo Brothers?
Yeah, so that's 2 people that came up with that.
There you go.
So what does that what does that say about the Eskimos?
I don't know. That's what I'm like, why Eskimo?
Maybe because it's like all I can think is that like it's like you're all in igloos and you're like So you're just like
It's dark. It's always nighttime.
It's
You,
always-
Like
You
you're
never-
you're rubbing up against.
yeah,
each
you
other.
never know who it is.
yeah, you're just banging the same people.
Oh, you live
So
in an
dark.
igloo.
Yeah, sometimes you would just bang like a pelt. And then, you wouldn't even, sometimes it would be like a like a husky.
A chunk of whale blubber.
Yeah.
It's actually quite lubricated.
Wow. Oh, it warms up quick.
Don't know if you tries it.
It doesn't hurt my penis like a belt.
A pelt.
Just a nice pelt.
And a belt and I have the grit on the crook.
I like to fold the pelt. Give it a nice spit.
You moisten it.
Put the lubricant in there.
Where are we going with that? So that's feedback.
Oh God, Dutch.
Oh, okay. So this is the thing, Paul. We forgot to talk about a few things. Well, number one, Paul's gonna die, and I have a note that says Paul's gonna die, and so but I wanted to talk about Paul going to a sleep clinic
Yes.
because it's a good PSA for people who would if picture yourself if you came to a podcast every week and you had a long day where you worked hard. But then, if you were near a microphone, would it sound like you were trying to suck the microphone through your
Up your nose.
up your nose? Because if that's your case, go to a sleep clinic. Please go to a sleep clinic. Because, Paul, what happened to you?
You might be dying.
They tested you and they said, tell your stats because your stats are alarming.
I stopped breathing 465 times in a 6-hour sleep for an average of 35 seconds each time. So if you do the math, I wasn't really sleeping for very much or breathing.
You're just dead for a bit.
Yeah.
Pretty much dead for 6 hours.
So there's no oxygen getting in your brain when you're not breathing, right?
Explain something.
Which is kind of like, well, seriously, man, you're like, how much better could you operate if you had oxygen going to your brain, right?
Yeah, now they put a mask on me that feels like I'm a dog with my head out the window.
Do you like it as much as the dog? Have you tried it yet?
Oh yeah, I took her for a ride last night.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it feel good? Did you sleep?
The thing was in 3 pieces. The hose just.
You're fighting it, eh? You're fighting it. You gotta
I don't know. I'm sleeping.
yeah. You know, your body's gonna get used to it. You know, it's the same thing. You know what you should do is stick like something up your ass at night too, and then you're gonna be so fighting that thing up your ass you won't think about.
You're distracted. Just put
yeah.
a catheter in every night.
Oh.
Yeah, just stick a pickle in there, or anything.
Stick a pickle.
Stick a nice gherkin.
Oh, it's got a little
To
bit of
start.
garlic.
A gherkin to start.
A gherkin with a hook.
It's got the hook cock.
Woo. Pushes my teeth.
It's ribbed for pleasure.
Anyways, Paul, so you're gonna get on this thing and you're gonna wear it, right? You're wearing, or you're
I'm gonna try. Yeah.
yeah,
I hope
And
so. I'd
hopefully-
like to breathe.
yeah. Breathing might be good for you, and we'll see
Third
how this
worst
works
case they ever saw.
What?
Wow, the doctor was alarmed.
Paul's on the leaderboard at the sleep clinic.
Tell you like, oh, you're
He got a
third
bronze
worst.
medal.
out. Yeah, and the guys that are beating him were like old men too,
Yeah,
so
over
Paul's
s-
got time to catch him.
Over 60.
You know, if Paul works at it, he can still get to me number one.
Yeah. I'll get there.
It's really the choice.
You're
And
right.
how was the sleep clinic? How'd that go?
Oh well, if you like sleeping with wires all over you, it's great. It was terrible.
Where'd you go?
Paris.
Paris.
What were you wearing? Like what Charters wears to a Dutch Hall taping?
Yeah.
The exact same outfit.
Yeah. Pajama pants.
It's not a video show.
No, it's not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. What when we get? Because we have a lot of super fans who are ladies, Dave. So I'm just I don't know where you
out.
stand on this stuff because you're like so like let's say there's a pretty we say the super fan coming in this week's a real pretty girl, right?
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, nice, Dave.
Right. That's
Dave, you already took one of my cousins easy over there.
that's my sister, and you already are banging my cousin, which is totally offside, man.
Okay.
You knew that from the beginning. I didn't improve your marriage, right? I'm really not cool with it. So, you know. Anyways, don't ever talk to my sister again. I'll punch you. But what I'm talking about is in the future, if another girl came in, you would, and you knew that you didn't know Laurie was coming in. Would you dress in the same way in the jogging pants and the sweatshirt?
Probably.
Yeah. You always want to be comfortable, right?
Easy access.
Hey, I'm no different, man. I dress like a slob every day.
Nice elastic waistband.
Right. Do you wear that like as your go-to thing? Because I'm wearing sweatpants way more than I really thought I ever would in my life.
I wouldn't say it's my go-to, but it felt right for today.
Because you weren't coaching right before this, were you? Like you weren't
No,
like
but last night I was, and I took a spill on the ice, and I just, I needed something
just
easy.
hasn't taken the pants off since. Yeah.
Just easy.
Still drunk from Friday.
Was there a nice drawstring on those, Dave, or is it an elastic top?
Both.
Oh yeah, sits them right up. So Paul's dying, and Steve. This
Yeah.
brings me to Steve.
Oh, great.
After the Swazi's gig, we're outside in the smoking area, and
This is
these
great.
girls come up to us, and the one girl says, "Hey, when we were watching the Nocturnal Emissions, we looked at all four of you guys on stage, Wes, Mike, Dave, and Steve, and we tried to figure out which one of you guys we liked best." That's what they said, right?
Something like that.
They didn't
yeah.
say which one we wanted to fuck.
No.
They didn't say which one we wanted to marry. They said which one we liked best. That's all they said, right?
Something like that.
There wasn't the script of
No.
what the...
It was opaque.
Yeah. Anyways, the girl was really excited because her friend had picked Steve.
Yes.
And she wanted to tell Steve that her friend had picked her. And then her friend had said, not just me, another girl did too. So
What?
two of the girls at the table
Steven!
picked Steve the Reluctant German as the heartthrob of the Nocturnal Emissions.
Woo!
Yeah!
Or maybe not. Maybe this
I'll
could
take
be
it,
like
yeah.
they were looking for some sort of cuckolded husband or something. Like they were looking for something really
Thanks.
specific. But but they could be they might have just found you most sexually attractive,
Right.
right?
Or
And that's
they-
the way you took it.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what you went home with.
That's right.
And that's what you went in feeling strong with,
I
right?
did. It felt nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right? So when you went home, you're going to your wife, right? Going in your house with your 4 sleeping kids.
That's right.
You're going in there after playing a fucking great gig at Swazi's, right? You nailed it. You knew you felt good, sounded good, right?
Yep.
Girl told you you were the best looking guy in the whole band, right? Close call, Mike second. They didn't qualify it. It was between Mike and Wes and Dave were both not even in consideration. But then you go home, you tell your wife, you're like probably thinking like I'm the fucking man here,
Yeah.
right? And how'd it turn out for you?
My wife didn't like that at all.
She didn't like it.
not so much. But, we've talked about it a lot this week.
How hot you are.
No, she's she likes your opinion, Pete. Pete's version is that my wife should be happy that her husband is
Appealing to others.
appealing to
Desirable.
other people.
desirable.
to other people. There you go.
Yeah. Like that's what they say. Women want guys who other women want. Like if I was sitting here and there's a bunch of hot chicks in the room, right? And they don't look at me because I'm me. And then all of a sudden Jane comes in, hot chick, right? She starts like just rubbing my dick or whatever she does because she really likes me. And then these girls are like, hey, why is that hot chick rubbing his dick? They like him, right? They like me more now.
Right.
Now they're interested in me because all of a sudden there must be some reason why that hot girl likes me. So then they want to
What
sniff
is
around
it?
too. That's just the way it goes. So it stands to reason that your wife should be more.
That you should have got laid that.
You should have got laid.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
night. You should have been able to give her that information. I was sexually desirable to people tonight because I was a fucking rock star tonight.
Rock star.
And look at me. I'm standing here at the foot of the bed, wearing my socks and my toque
And my
and
layers.
3 layers on top.
3 layers on top.
But my dick is out, through my zipper, but it's out.
Right.
and
And it's time.
it's
It's go time.
do your shit, man. But it didn't happen, eh?
Didn't happen.
She doesn't see it that way.
No, she's coming around.
Now, Charters, did your wife find you more sexually attractive after that night of like you? She went home before you.
Yeah, like
You went
way
home like
before.
Did you go home 3 days later?
A whole day.
There's guaranteed. By the time you got home, it was like,
The rock star wore off.
She was on the phone like canceling the APB that was out.
yeah, he's here. Yeah.
He made it.
Too bad. Yeah. No, she was probably. She's probably.
She was super proud of me.
Did she
What
really have a
great
good time?
night. Oh yeah, she had a great time.
It was fun. I was watching Sweet Sweet Kelly's cheeks. I had a good view of Sweet Sweet Kelly's cheeks, and that various times she had to rub them. She was rubbing them a little bit because they were hurting because you could tell she was laughing so hard. Cause
Yeah, she had a great time. I did too. The comics were hilarious. They were great.
yeah, it was fun. It was all fun and around. Anyway,
Let's do it again.
yeah, we gotta keep doing it.
Yep.
What do we got here? Oh, we're an hour. Can you believe it?
Whoa.
We didn't even do the shit we were gonna the bit
Death
we were gonna.
Pool.
have.
I'm
Death Pool. Yeah, Death
Oh,
Pool.
an update.
So Laurie Ball, another reason why she's a listener of the week. She really is the listener of the week.
She's a listener of the week. This is her week. It's her week, Laurie.
And the reason is because she. Who else does this? She knew we were such a bunch of bumblefucks that we could not get our death pool straight. We made the pool at the beginning of the year. We went through the whole year, and we tracked these people that died. She went back and listened to the episode for us, charted it out, wrote it all down. So now we know the rules, not only the rules of the death pool, everything is set up for us.
Thanks,
This is
Laurie.
great. Thank you, Laurie.
So just to recap to end, the 2017 death pool, the bet was $5 each to the first person who died of the death pool,
Mike
Michael
fucking
Bowe.
right.
Mike, you win.
Yes, thank you, Laurie.
which Mike won for Hugh Hefner.
Like we each got to give him $5.
Goddamn
Yeah.
right.
He won $5, so he will get
Money, money, money,
25 bucks.
money.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25 bucks. So you'll get 25 bucks. And the most, you are tied for the most because we both have one. Gord Downey is me.
Boo.
And
Low blow.
you, of course, have your Hugh Hefner. And
we
I got to
did
tell
look
you,
up Bob Barker. He's not dead yet.
I cannot believe Bob Barker is not dead yet.
Who has it? I think I have him, don't I?
Who's the other?
Bob Barker is, yes, it is Mike with Bob Barker. You have a real stacked list.
Great choice.
Like, you have Little Richard, John Madden. John Madden is not dead at 81.
It's unbelievable.
How the fuck does a fat fuck like that live till 81?
Bullet
And by the way,
Little
tell me
Richard?
John Madden didn't like whip his dick out at some fucking secretary.
Boom, here's my cock.
Ozzy Osbourne, Bob Barker, and Hugh Hefner.
Wow.
Now listen to Char's team is my favorite. John Paul Jones, healthy as a horse. Brett Burns, prime of his life.
Not having the greatest year in hockey, though, Charters. Maybe he's dying.
Yeah, maybe he's dying.
Wheels are coming off.
Charlie Sheen, by all accounts, ripped.
Solid.
Yeah, the Tiger's blood worked for him.
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, and Martin Sheen you have now. And again, by all accounts, like fit for his age. And Harrison Ford.
I think Charters thought
He just made 4
actually
movies.
died because he died in the Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't that count?
He's
Got a
dead.
lightsaber right through his chest.
His own fucking son.
Yeah. That is a bad team, man. That is a bad
Yeah,
team.
you should just pay up now.
I like Paul's team, though. Paul's team is Axl Rose, The Undertaker, Justin Bieber,
Miley Cyrus.
Clint Eastwood, and Miley Cyrus. Yeah. Like, Paul's is like a real newsworthy event. Like, fuck, yeah.
Yeah, when those people die, we'll know. Like everybody will know.
Yeah.
And West is Keith Richards, Pete Rose, Pete Rose, good pick, man.
is
That
a
guy
good
could
one.
drop anytime. Because he's like fucking strung out, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking wild. Kanye West,
Yeah.
Bill Cosby,
Ooh.
and the Queen.
Oh, the Queen's a
he
good
had the
one.
Queen.
Yeah, he
Still a
almost
few
had.
weeks left.
Good
He
one.
almost had the Queen. There's only a few weeks left for these people to die.
Yeah.
Mike,
No,
we
you
did
got
Mike.
Steve.
Steve has Willie Nelson.
Aw.
What, boo.
Yeah, boo.
Boo.
Yeah, why'd you do that? Don't jinx Willie.
No, Willie.
Wayne Gretzky. Car accident. He actually called car accident. He called his shot. I remember that. Called his shot. Donald Trump.
Still time.
That's actually could
Still
happen.
Yeah, it still could
That
happen.
one's not bad.
Betty White. And Larry King. Tick, tick, tick.
Oh.
I saw him take a haul off an e-cigarette from some girl.
Ooh.
At like it was a hot girl in like the smoking area, and he comes in like waddling into a restaurant, like barely alive as it is. And then she gives him an e-cigarette, and he takes a puff out of it, and he like starts coughing because it's gonna kill him because he's so fragile. But it didn't kill him. And my team is Gord Downey, God rest his soul. Don Cherry,
Ooh.
Pam Anderson, which
Hepatitis.
Chevy Chase, and Jimmy Carter.
Also have.
Huh.
Jimmy Carter's got fucking brain cancer,
Yeah,
man.
Jimmy
Like,
Carter. That one's.
and he's like saying he's gonna go do things now. The guy can't. The guy's amazing. Like,
He's
how did he
just
not
fucking
die
you
this
over.
year, man? He fucked me right over. Jimmy Carter. Anyways, that is our death pool. So, Laurie, thanks so much.
Thanks, Laurie.
And if you want to be part of this studio audience or like to be a super fan in studio, give us an email. Reach out to us. Tell a friend. Do all the things you got to do to help make this show better. We are actually pretty excited about the turnout we had for the Swazies event and for the ability to be able to sit down and meet some of our listeners. We hope to do more live events so we can meet more of you people. And we really appreciate when people do reach out to us. So provide us some feedback so we can know how we can do a better job or that you guys are enjoying it. For all the listeners that have ever supported our show to this date, we love you guys. Thank you very much, and we will see you next Thursday.
That was fast.
Where were you hiding that?
In the kitchen.